So you have the IP address of the machine you're going to hack, but how are you going to start your actual reconnaissance, or will you call it scanning? Because in the very first start of your reconnaissance and scanning phase, in most occasions, you're just going to run NMAP. Let's face it, right? So when you are doing your machines online, let's say on TryHackMe or HackTheBox, stuff like that, right? Then you get an IP address, and people talk about all these different kind of hacking phases of passive reconnaissance and somewhat active reconnaissance. Then you go to scanning. So all this reconnaissance stuff usually involves stuff that doesn't poke the actual server on the IP address. So you're not going to send the server any traffic. Now, we're not here for that, right? We're here for the actual NMAP. We're here to do actual active scanning. Some people even call it active reconnaissance. So I'm going to talk about this right now. So when you have the IP address, go ahead and just type in NMAP just like that. Put in the IP address, press enter, get your scan running. While you do that, it took very short amount of time this time, but in some occasions it's going to take a few minutes. While you wait for that, and pay attention to this. This is the NMAP scan. You say NMAP and the IP. So you're going to scan for the first most commonly used 1,000 ports that are open. Well, not the first, but the commonly most used ports, right? So stuff like port 22, or port 80, or port 88, and stuff like that. Not 1 to 1,000, but just, the most common port. While that is running, go ahead and open a new tab. And just do any tab. If you're using Terminator or whatever, way to control your console, doesn't really matter. Go ahead and run a full port scan right after, just like that. Now, if you have struggled copy pasting the IP address, I'm just going to do it one more time, because copy pasting is actually pretty difficult, as you can see. Just put it in right that. Now, while you wait for that, you're going to go back and verify what ports are open. Pay attention to the actual amount of flags that I put to the NMAP command. I put none, 0 flags, okay? When I talk about flags, I say the things you put here afterwards, like tag SV, tag SC, stuff like that. So while you see this, you have the open ports, you have a full port scan, and the full port scan came back with the same amount of ports. So now you only have port 22 and port 80. Now you will go ahead and verify the services on the machine you're going to hack. So going up and open a new tab. Let's verify the same IP address is there. It is not. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste it. Copy paste. Put it in. And now go do a SV. That is the scan to determine the exact type of software running on the port. Press enter. While you do that, go ahead and open a new tab one more time. Type NMAP. Paste in. Wow, we had the IP address. And do SC. That is a script that's going to run all the default scripts on NMAP. Now, talking about different kind of categories on NMAP, I have another video on my YouTube channel where I talk about NMAP in a lot more depth. Now, I'm going to put a link to that in the description below, so please go ahead and take a peek on that video, because it's going to explain you a lot more detail what NMAP can do for you. There's a particular reason that I'm taking these steps one by one at the moment. Let me just take the very first scan. We just scan for the 1,000 most commonly ports, which ports are open. Second scan, full port scan. If more ports were present, we're going to find it now, without flags, to keep the speed as fast as possible. Now, then we did SV to verify different kind of versions. Now we're just checking out the port 22 and port 80, different kind of versions. Now, if the full port scan showed more ports, you could have added another flag here called tag P and added on different port you wanted to do a version check on, which kind of version is running on that port. Now we see OpenSSH and Apache, which is very good, so we can go ahead and search for exploits on these two different kind of softwares. Okay, so on the default scripts we're going to run, it doesn't really find anything particular. Now these things are fine, so we don't see anything. We can exploit directly just by doing this. It's easy for me to say because I've seen this so many times, so you're just gonna have to practice, and really that is the way it is. Now these 4 commands can also be run as one. So if you're gonna go ahead and type nmap one more time, put in the IP address, that is not the IP address, just clear screen, nmap, It's because we're opening a new terminal every time. It's a different pasteboard. Put it in. Say tag SC, tag SV, full port scan, and you can also add on, even more like capital O to do an operating system, and you can even do it even more crazy. Add on an A for aggressive, which is also going to do some of the operating scan and so on. This is the full Hail Mary scan from NMAP, And if you're going to do that, just gonna pay attention to what you need to do with sudo privileges, because it requires you to do some kernel stuff in order to do operating system verification on the machine you're trying to hack. Depending on your connection, the server you're trying to hack, how many ports are open, and so on, a few other things, this can take quite some time. When I say quite some time, I'm not saying half an hour or something like that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying minutes, but it can take a few minutes at least. Now, you probably think, and this is a thing I just want to say to you, this doesn't mean it's stuck. It's very common. People say, oh, see, look, it's stuck, nothing happens. Yeah, but it's not stuck. It's just 50% done. If you press enter, in most occasions, some Linux programs is going to output the actual process of how far it's actually gotten. So, as you can see, we got a result back here. We can see that we got the port 22, got the same version. Got the port 80, got the server and the version, the header. We found the operating match, the fingerprint, and we also noticed that there were some hops. So this is probably because of the way TryHackMe created this stuff. So 10.11.01 looks like a gateway in some way. And this is the IP address we just scanned, so 10.10.89.167. So yeah, I just want to say that this is what you're gonna get back. It's the NMAP video, gonna give you a quick start. So going one step back, if you want to be on the safe side, you want to keep speed, just do normal NMAP scan, open the window, or do a full port scan. Depending on what you see and what is interesting, run a combined SV SC scan in one line on the different ports you find interesting. If you feel like doing the way you just did right here, please be my guest. It can save you some time, and also going to open a lot of tabs for you to, well, remind yourself you have open. So if you want to do this or that, that's really up to you. I just want to show you different ways of doing NMAP scans, how to do performance, and how to think about it. So I hope you learned something about this video. I'm gonna see you again online next time. And please consider subscribing to my channel. Say hello in the chat. I want to say hello back in chat, in the text, comments, I guess. I will definitely reply back to you. Bye.